Newark is a beautiful, vibrant city, full of culture, full of people who love their community, people that are passionate. The people who live here, they are invested. The people who work here, the people who have loved ones here, they are invested in the well-being of this city.
Back in 1967, we had the Newark Rebellion, and that really was a tipping point, I think, for our city to really realize that, hey, something has to be done differently. And ever since then, there has always been a level of activism that says, hey, we belong in our city, and we're gonna have conversations, and we're gonna have the hard conversations. And I think EJ USA was able to identify the right time and the place where we have a community that's ready to talk about the traumas that have impacted them for so long. We had a law enforcement agency in the Newark Police Department that was actually ready to participate in the conversations as well.
Again, Equal Justice USA came in at a time where the city was having issues and troubles around its policing. And so they really brought in a notion that we don't need to reform, that we need to make transformations. We need to transform.
So Equal Justice USA has been a partner with us through this reform process. We were looking to get community discussion and community feedback for both policies and trainings so that the community could have a meaningful voice. It's not something that as police officers that we could conceptualize on our own. So they've been an incredible partner through that.
And so when we bring community and we bring law enforcement into the room together, it really breaks down the dynamic of the us versus them. It really starts to make and force and forge a relationship that hasn't happened before.
And don't judge minorities or black people or whoever is in your community based off of the last person. I mean, that seems pretty elementary.
The moment I put this on and walk up to somebody, I already got a preconceived notion of how I'm gonna act.
Because you keep telling me, and he keeps telling me that you're just seeing the things on the news, but that's not true. It's somebody else. But it's a cop at the end of the day. It may not be you, but it's a cop, and it's cops.
There's something really beautiful happening here. And I'm not trying to harp on the point, but we're right there, where we're starting to see each other's experience.
I think this is the core of building a strong connection with your community, right? You have to kind of go to the other side and have a conversation that may not be comfortable at the beginning because there are a lot of scars there, right? And the only way to kind of get past that is to sit down and just talk.
For people who don't know about EJ USA, they have been able to transform pain into purpose. They've been able to transform trauma into power, into empowerment for people to be able to see themselves in a place that they've never been able to see themselves before.
We're talking about really changing the culture of the agency. And if you're going to do that and sustain it, you have to have, I think, this trauma-informed approach. You have to have some vehicle where the officers are better able to see folks in the community and better able to communicate with them. And I think trauma to trust is absolutely essential to that, to having those results.
The trauma never necessarily goes away, but that trust now elevates and comes to the surface and becomes a bridge, a building block for meaningful transformation to happen. So that's where that trauma to trust comes from. It's like a movement, a progression from trauma to trust.